Welcome to a new show with new rules. I am your host, Dallas Cash, and I am part of Culture Clash Network. But I would not be remiss if I didn't have my number one go to guy for everything, who is also part of CCN and is basically not just the point guard, but the point forward of CCN for the Marks and Mike's podcast, Mr. 6'9" JT.
What's going on, man? Happy to be here. Hey, don't put that type of pressure on me. People start to talk.
Well, hey, let the people keep talking, but we're gonna basically explain what this show is about. So it's TNA Dark Hour. This show will never last an hour, but we do have a lot of topics that we want to cover, and we are going to do it with just 60-second takes. And I think recapping what happened on TNA is probably the best place to start. Obviously, Rebellion was a success, but let's go ahead and get started. So when we look at TNA, we opened up with the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Joe Hendry, who kicked off the show. And obviously, he was attacked by Trick Williams from the closing moments of Rebellion. So honestly, I got to ask you real quick, JT, as we get this timer started, because we're going to have 60 seconds for each take.
Oh, shit. I'm the first one. Let's do it.
It's just us two. So with that being said, I got to ask you, how are you feeling with what Joe Hendry has done at WrestleMania and Rebellion, and now this program that he's in with Trick Williams?
So, looking at what Joe Hendry has done, he's done a great job. I mean, look at him. WrestleMania had a huge moment, and the TNA Championship got to be seen on a global scale. The first time ever WrestleMania has been seen across the globe at one time. You saw the TNA Championship display. He had a match with Randy Orton. He's been a very intricate piece inside the NXT TNA relationship. And you look at what they're doing. You got Trick Williams and Joe Hendry, quite possibly the two most over guys during the time of the announcement of the partnership. Trick Williams carrying the championship, Joe Hendry going viral, eventually becoming champion. I think what they're doing with Joe Hendry is none shot of just amazing. And they need to continue to do
it. That was an excellent take. So my thing on it is, yeah, I definitely agree with everything that Joe Hendry has done, with the impact that he has made since he's been TNA World Heavyweight Champion. It's been nothing shy of amazing. Even with the 3-minute and 10-second match he had with Randy Orton at WrestleMania, I feel like that was done perfectly, and that's the way that it should have been done. Didn't make Hendry look weak. Trick Williams also, who has had similar success in a monumental impact, not just in NXT, but all over WWE and the world for what he's been doing. I think he's the perfect person to face Joe Hendry at this point in his career, because both of these men can do no wrong. A loss doesn't hurt either of them on any side of the coin, and that's the best part about this is we as the fans get spoiled with everything that not only WWE NXT is doing, but TNA as well, and it's a monumental ride to be a part of, and I'm absolutely happy. So moving on from that, we go to, obviously, Trick Williams said, hey, I'm not going to be in the building because I'm getting ready for my Battle Royale match. But tensions were heating up, obviously, because the X Division champion, Moose, was going up against Zachary Wentz, who actually pinned him. Actually recently pinned him at Rebellion. I believe the Ultimate X match has some controversy to it. Obviously, this was a good match. Alicia Edwards got involved. Moose got the spear in and the win. But I got to ask, do you think going into this that there might be a potential person on the roster that you think could dethrone Moose as X Division champion? And if so, who?
Zachary Wentz. I'm not even going to hold you. He never got that rematch. Let's go ahead and put that out there. The man was the X Division champion before Moose went ahead and took the title off him with the help of the system. Now, I think in the situation, we get Zachary Wentz and Moose going one-on-one, no outside interference, I think Zachary Wentz can take him. Another person that I think can take the title off him, Leon Slater, because obviously he had his hand on the title at Rebellion, but dropped the title as he came off the Ultimate X scraper. He's another one that can take the title off of Moose. Another person that I think can take the title off of Moose as well. Give me someone from the NXT roster. And it could be anyone, you know what I'm saying, off the NXT roster, especially anyone that's over right now, majorly over without a title. Think about it.
Well, going off of that, there's a lot of strengths in what you say, and I definitely believe Zachary Wentz is a front runner since he pinned Moose at Rebellion. And I know for a fact that with Zachary Wentz being involved, he's the perfect person to carry the X division because, again, he didn't get his rematch back. And there's a lot of different people on the roster who I wouldn't mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind somebody like, Mike Santana maybe getting his hands on gold, but with what he's got going on right now, I don't think that's in his sights. But I personally feel like Zachary Wentz is the perfect person to make this happen. And if he is the perfect person to dethrone Moose, you understand that it took interference for him to lose. He wasn't straight up beat up and he had Moose dead to rights. Zachary Wentz is my pick. I won't say anybody potentially else because I think that title has Zachary's name all over it. And moving on from that, Santino Marella, after their barbed wire massacre, had, Mance Warner and Sami Callihan shake hands. And I don't think that they have any I don't think it's over yet, but we'll see. But moving on from that, we did see Mike Santana in action. Speaking of which, he went on to defeat Mustafa Ali, and he's already when he pinned Isaiah Moore, he also got on the mic and put Joe Hendry on notice. So I'll go first on this one. So what I think about Mike Santana versus Joe Hendry as a potential feud is fireworks. Mike Santana is actually one of my favorite wrestlers to check for because of his believability and the conviction in everything that he does. Everything that he does feels extremely real. Like from kidnapping security to packing up anybody he can. The feud he had with Mustafa Ali, that was Hollywood. That was box office for me. And I thought that Mike Santana he gets it. And I think he is a big cornerstone of what TNA is trying to accomplish. And building a star like him he already is a household name in my opinion, but I foresee world championship gold in his future. So if anybody should dethrone Joe Hendry, I would most likely give that nod to Mike Santana. All right, you're on the clock. So do you think Mike Santana and Joe Hendry is something that you could get invested in?
Listen, I like Santana. Great story, great redemption story. 2 years sober, 2 years on TNA. You mentioned the swagger and everything he's bringing. I mean, it reminds me of Homicide. Fellow LAX brethren. But Mike Santana really got the people in the palm of his hand. Like I got to see him at Pro Wrestling Revolver last year for Mania. Like he literally gets it, like you said, Mustafa Ali. That match was great. He did something that I'd never seen before, which was someone lean up the steps against someone and do a suplex off the top of the steps inside the ring. That was dope. But as far as Mike Santana taking the title off of Joe Hendry, it's very, very possible. When I say possible, like it can happen because Joe Hendry hurt.
Definitely. And I think that is a great take that you have there. And speaking of hurt, I mean, let's talk about TNA International Champion Steve Macklin, who obviously he is the new TNA International Champion, but Northern Armory we're not having it with him. Obviously, Judas Icarus and Travis Williams got a hold of him. Eric Young beat him down like they did with the steel chair at Rebellion. And Santino Marella informed Eric Young and Steve Macklin that they're going to face each other next week. So with you on the clock, do you think this is going to be a blood feud down the line between the two?
Shoot, it's already a blood feud. I mean, at Rebellion, he had his cronies hang him with a chain, hang Steve Macklin with a chain. Right then and there, it's a blood feud, my guy. And like, I got to get it back in blood. It's on sight every time I see you. And if you know EY, Eric Young, he don't never let nothing go. You know, he always gonna come back. Come on now, think about it. Go all the way back to his earlier days of TNA, his run inside NXT, his run on the main roster. Eric Young don't let nothing go. Steve Macklin, Eric Young, they gonna be TNA's version of Peter Griffin and the Chicken. Like, I don't know. I don't know which one's Peter Griffin. I don't know which one's the Chicken, but they're gonna be fighting until the end of time.
You got that right. With Eric Young and Steve Macklin, yeah, there was a lot of violence at Rebellion, and I feel like this is going to somebody's got to bleed for real at this point, and I'm talking like beaten to a bloody pulp, because Steve Macklin has proven that he can hang in the ring with any kind of wrestler, any kind of veteran, and it shows in the presentation and how he carries himself. I get that old school, gritty, William Regal-esque feel with him sometimes, that Fit Finley pedigree from that cut from that cloth. And with Eric Young, no pun intended, but his sanity is always in danger. Because at any point he can snap and go into that dark, demented phase that has gotten him to many different facets of his career. So yeah, I think it's going to be war with these two. So there was a little bit of a surprise. So we're going to throw a little bit of a curveball here. So we got obviously a pop-up from Indy Hartwell, and obviously coming from NXT, you know, she's basically put the locker room on notice that she's not just going to be another face in the crowd. She's going to be someone who's going to shake things up. So I'll start with this. So basically the question is, what do you think is going to be first for Indy Hartwell and TNA? So I think first for Indy Hartwell, she needs to start racking up victories on notable names for people to take her serious. You know, with Indy Hartwell coming in from NXT, she's part of that pedigree that can get it done. But I feel like as a former NXT Women's Champion, she was still undervalued and underlooked and underrated. Therefore, I feel like this will be what it was for Ash by Elegance, a chance to showcase what she can do, what could possibly have been done if the rocket ship was strapped to her back. Now, with Indy Hartwell, do I think she should go after Masha Slamovich right away? No. But I think that with different women on the roster that you could put her up against, there could be some vitriol that she can develop with any of the women in the Knockouts division, because obviously Indy Hartwell has a lot to prove, and I'd like to see what she has. JT, I'm gonna go ahead and lob it to you.
Well, go ahead and pass it. I'm gonna keep it simple as I can. Okay. First of all, Indy, welcome to TNA. Thank you for crossing the line. This is what you're gonna have to do. Not much, because you already have your name, right? Now you have to run through this roster the same way that Taco Bell runs through my guts. Okay, you have to be able to not only get into some great matches, display your ability, and come on, her on the microphone. She's a beautiful young lady. She's going to catch a lot of attention, a lot of eyes on the product. I can honestly see her feuding right off the back with Ash by Elegance, or feuding right off the back with Zaya Brookside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, The route I want her to take is getting the knockouts and then going after the former NXT talent.
Excellent. I think that's a great take. We also definitely got a match which was absolutely what it needed to be, and which wasn't much, and I think that was what needed to happen. I'll cover this one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Jody Threat versus Maggie Lee. Now, with Jody Threat, I think that she's scratching the surface. There's clearly something there, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. There's clearly something there, but we're just waiting for it to click. And she's she's really good at her presentation and how she executes her moves. She looks like someone who could kick your ass with a smile. She has that look. She has that build. She has that pedigree. I'm just waiting for a little bit more from her to see where she goes forward, because with against somebody like, Maggie Lee, she's going to dominate. She's going to give off that aura of, hey, this is one of your up and coming talents that has a veteran pedigree. And with Jody Threat, I think there is something building up for her down the line. I'll go ahead and pass it to you on this one.
Well, shit, throw the lob. How can I say this without sounding condescending? I am familiar with their work a little bit, but what I'm saying is this: I'm gonna need a little bit more character development from the both of them. They do great presentation. Maggie Lee is freshly new. I think um, I almost called her the wrong name. Gail Kim was the one to bring her in right before she got released. I honestly think if developed right, as far as character development, because the thing with TNA, and I love TNA, they have great wrestlers, but the character work sometimes needs a little help. And I think
Mm,
character development one on one will do them both good. And that's all I got to say.
okay, no problem. Moving on from that, we had Gia Miller tried to get a word from Mustafa Ali, but he obviously was upset because of his loss to Mike Santana at Rebellion, and he just basically said he wasn't the same. He hasn't been feeling the same. Basically that's what John Schuyler said. But my question for you is, and I'll just let you cover this, and we'll move on. What do you think is next for Mustafa Ali?
TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Talk about it.
If you said an Ali we trust, then Ali needs to be there at the top. Okay, you got this strong campaign going. You got the good hands behind you. Shout out to Jason Hodge. You also have Tasha Steele, a part of your cabinet,
Hmm.
your secretary, right? What else is next? I mean, honestly, the X Division Championship, it's a nice stepping stone, but he's already captured that. He's already been X Division champion. Now it's time to go after something that you ain't had. You ain't had a world heavyweight championship on no major promotion. This is your time. If you saying an Ali we trust, tell me why I should trust you. Show me why I should trust you. And by getting that championship, that's how you show the people to get behind you even more. He got a good following.
Damn right when it comes to that. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say there was another I got caught by surprise with this. So Cody Deaner basically announced that, hey, his contract is set to expire at midnight, and he was given his final goodbye. Director of Authority Santino Marella said, hey, we'll give you one final chance to persuade the board of directors that we should renew your contract against a match with Eddie Edwards at Under Siege. But after that, he was interrupted by former NXT talent Robert Stone and surprisingly Victoria Crawford from my WWE family. That it would be Alicia Fox.
Oh,
And
man.
And then Robert Stone informed Morella that his work as director of Authority is being reviewed since now Miss Crawford is now the deputy director of Authority. And not only that, but Victoria basically said she's going to challenge Masa Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts Championship. Here's my take on it. I like it to a degree because, yeah, this is going to get another veteran under Masha Slamovich's resume, another notch on her belt. But this kind of seems a little thrown together, which, to be completely honest, it just really is. And there's no way to dance around it. But the fact of the matter is, when we look at that, Masa Slamovich is going to have a problem on her hands because there could be some trickery, some hickory dickory trickery involved if this match does obviously get sanctioned and if there's a caveat that comes with it. Now, who do I think is going to obviously win this? Obviously, Masha Slamovich. But I wouldn't be surprised if there is a ace up the sleeve for Miss Crawford. JT, I'm going to go ahead and lob that one to you.
Man, listen, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna try. What are we doing here? What? Now, don't get me wrong. Once again, like you said, totally left field. Don't know how this happened, when it happened, but now we got a deputy director of Authority. Now all of a sudden, we got somebody who is underneath Santino Marella. No build up, no type of man, somebody's watching me, nothing like that. We just get Robert Stone showing up on a random episode of TNA Impact and going off at the mic, and now we got what's her face, Victoria, aka the beautiful Alicia Fox, deputy director. I got lost in the sauce because I can give a damn about Cody Deaner at this point because you just brought in Alicia Fox. Like, what's going on?
So basically, when it came to Cody Deaner, you just basically said,
I don't give a damn about that.
It's
basically.
Well, okay.
Nothing
Well,
against Cody.
Man, listen, it is what it is, and it is what it is. That's all I can say. Hopefully, Cody does get his contract renewed, but hey, he's easy to like and he's easy to root for. Moving on, we had Casey Navarro against Leon Slater, which this was a high flying match, and I thought it was really good. Top Dollar always up to his shenanigans, his hickory dickory trickery. He obviously got ejected after the referee basically saw that he was trying to get involved. Navarro almost had it. He almost had it. He almost had play Slater, but Slater ended up winning with the Swanton 450 to win. And the way that I take this match is it's a good showcase match for both men. Obviously, they got their stuff in. Navarro, the sky is the limit for him, especially with the expertise of one AJ Francis by his side. But Leon Slater is just in a class of his own right now. And especially with what happened at Rebellion, this is definitely his lick back, especially since he really tried to take out the competition and almost took out himself.
Man, listen, I'm gonna say it like this: Leon Slater showed up and he basically gave him the mace. Go ahead and hit that clip for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little niggas. Like the way you talking, I don't.
Like, for me, okay, first of all, shout out to Leon Slater, because for him to take the bump that he did on Sunday and then come back out on a Thursday and like it never happened. That's one tough ass motherfucker, man. I'm gonna go in and say that. Leon Slater, Casey Navarro, both young, great talent. Sky's the limit for both of them. I think this match didn't mean anything. I mean, yeah, he got a lick back, but other than that, it really wasn't much. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anybody need to get your lip back on, it's Matt Cardona. Get your lip back on that nigga, because if you look at what happened, he clearly didn't touch him.
That's a fact. And moving on, we'll just get through this real quick. We don't have to set the timer for this. Masha Slamovich accepted the challenge from Victoria Crawford. Basically said she can hang with an athlete of her caliber Under Siege. So look forward to it, but we'll see what happens. Moving on, we got the main event, which was Frankie Kazarian and the Nemeth brothers versus Joe Hendry and the Hardys. I like how they had this, like, Kazarian and the Nemeths, Hendry and the Hardys. I just like how it played out. So obviously it was a pretty good match. I thought it was pretty good, and it was competitive all the way around. But then it happened. And ladies and gentlemen, obviously when we talk about it happened, Trick Williams showing up after the Nemeth brothers and Kazarian got the dub. He hits Hendry with the trick shot. Trick said Trick Willie wasn't going to be in the Billy, but he clearly was. So my thing is now is that we got a good feud going on with Hendry and Trick Williams that we were talking about. Good way to end the show. Trick Williams on top, obviously laying out Joe Hendry the way that he did. But he was like, I mean, Trick came out like he was in the gym. He basically came out like he had just got done doing a set, and he was laid out. Boom, boom, boom. Game over. And if this does get set for Under Siege, expect Joe Hendry to show up at NXT. Because if Hendry shows up at NXT and costs Trick in that battle royal, which it's probably going to happen, it's going to be bad for Trick. We'll just say that. We're off to the races at that point. All right, big man, you're up. Your mic is muted.
Shout out to the Hardys. Shout out to Joe Hendry. Shout out to, of course, Frankie Kazarian and the Nemeth brothers. I love it. Give me more of this, right? Trick Willie showing up at the end, beating down Joe Hendry. Go ahead and play that second clip. Charlie,
shit out of me, man.
Let's go ahead and say that. But you know the worst part about all that was he did this on Joe Hendry's birthday. Couldn't even really celebrate it. And that to me is diabolical, right? You know, if you see in the social media early that day, everyone was wishing him happy birthday. Trick Willie sat there and lied, said he wasn't even in the building. Trick said he was in Orlando or some shit like that. And then he showed up and did what he did to Joe Hendry. Now, what do we go from here? We don't know. But all I can say is if Joe Hendry does lose the title to Trick Williams, go ahead and play that last clip for me.
At the end?
Mm-hmm. Tough break, nigga. It's always FUBU. Tough break, nigga. It's always FUBU.
Always FUBU after that, man. Joe, you can always bounce back.
Overall, I thought it was a great show. I'm looking forward to what they have for Under Siege. I think that they have built this program pretty well. There's probably going to be some more additional matches added to it. But, hey, that's TNA Dark Hour for you. And we just wanted to go ahead and give our opinions on that. JT, could you let people know where to follow you at on social media?
Shoot, you can follow me everywhere that Dallas is at. It's simple. At Marks with Mics, MarksWithMics. That's on every platform. You name it. Talking about IG, TikTok, Book of Faces, YouTube. Also catch us on Blue Sky when I feel like posting. The Snapchat getting ready to get back up and running. And yeah, catch us there, man. Catch us on all your podcast streaming apps. Whatever podcasts are available, you'll find Marcel Mikes.
And you can also find me on Twitter at King Dallas Cash, Twitch at Dallas Cash Gaming, IG at The Humble Roses Pod, POD. TikTok is also The Humble Roses Pod as well. So this has been the TNA Dark Hour. I am Dallas Cash, Mr. 6'9" JT. We are part of Culture Clash Network. My podcast is the Humble Roses Podcast, and I also help run the podcast with him on Marks with Mikes. We appreciate you guys. Big shout out to Ross Foreman. Thank you for giving us the go ahead and do this show. Hope you enjoyed it for many more to come. This has been episode 1. Rise up. We will see you guys later. And remember, make an impact day in and day out for TNA.